I'm what's called a sensitive. I'm very sensitive to not only our own senses, the five senses, but beyond that, we have a sixth sense and a seventh sense. Now let me explain that. The sixth sense is basically our surroundings, our environment, where we're very aware and become more perceptive than we would normally that there's something there. We don't see it with our eyes, we don't necessarily hear it, but we feel it. Walking into a room and realizing that the energy in that room is completely different from the other room. Everybody has that ability, but not everybody is aware of it. Not everybody knows they're using it. They think it's just an intuition. They think it's just this or that. And intuition is a part of it, but it's something more wonderful than just that. I was terrified when I was a kid. I mean, I have to admit, through my whole childhood, I would sleep with the lights on in the hallway because based on the experiences I had, if it was completely dark, they would appear. The farthest I can remember was when I was about 4 or 5 years old, and I used to wake up at night and I used to feel that there was something there. And it got to a point where I started getting physical contact, where I'd be sleeping and all of a sudden something would tap me on the shoulder, I'd turn around, there's nothing there. There'd also be times when I'd be playing and I'd hear my voice called and I'd go running out in the hallway and there's no one there. So it started with small little things and then it started to build up. I started to see actually ghosts and apparitions. I thought everybody had these experiences. And as I got older, I realized, other kids don't see these things and I used to get teased about it. Growing up as a kid, and having these experiences, seeing these things and being terrified, I was kind of thrown into the frying pan doing this show because here I was going to, within 1 week, we go to 3 or 4 different locations. So here I'm going into dark corners of the room, dark places that we know are haunted, based on history and people that have come forward and said this. And there's times where I remind myself of childhood, I'm like, oh my God, what am I doing? Why am I putting myself in this situation? I kind of ran away from this as a kid. But it was a way for me to, I would say, stand up to my childhood fears. Now I can take what I've learned and develop it to do some amazing things. The interesting thing about doing the show is it's kind of like a ghost hunter's dream. I've gone to over 100 different locations in the United States, places that I didn't even know existed, and had some amazing experiences. But what I can tell you is there were times that I was actually scared. And one of them is Eastern State Penitentiary. We went in there and I went down a dark corridor. Director says, I want you to take this camera, night vision camera, walk down here, and here's a flashlight and just see if you get anything. I'm walking down this long corridor, like 100 yards long. Halfway down, okay, and there's rubble and there's dirt everywhere. My camera goes completely dead and my flashlight goes dead simultaneously. All of a sudden I felt that there was all these people around me watching me and they're getting closer and closer. I just hightailed it out of there as fast as I could, grabbing onto the wall. Now that scared me. The director's like, what are you doing? I said, this just went dead and this just, he goes, well, I'll give you new ones. I said, no, I'm not going back down there. My job is basically to people that are kind of not too sure but want to believe, and people that are afraid to believe, is to make them understand that it's there. I'm not saying that I have every answer in the world because I'm still learning as I go along, but I have a lot more answers than most people would have because I've been there. And I've come to understand it and deal with it. I can't turn my back on it. It's like someone that has an ability to become an incredible basketball player and doesn't utilize it. It's somebody that is an incredible artist and they're not sure about doing that or not. We're all given an ability on this planet. And if we don't go with it, no matter what other people think, we're wasting it away. So that's what I'm doing.